Welcome, welcome. In 3, 2, 1. Nice. Welcome, noble ones. How you guys doing? Good to have you here. Good to have you here, guys. Good evening. Hey, Baron. Good to see you. Say Nicholas. Hello. Stop killing games, guys. Stop killing games. We're going to talk about it today. Hopefully having a little bit of... Is the music too loud? I don't know. Hopefully we're going to have an extensive discussion about this. And I've got a few interesting links for you and for me. And we're going to look into this. I think it's a very... I've extensively looked into it, watched lots of videos, pros, cons. And at the end of it all, I'm absolutely 100% in favor of it, and I think we need to... I want to do my little... it's not like I'm a big shot YouTuber, but I want a little contribution. And hopefully people will be able to... we can bring in a few more signatures. We're going to review it. We're going to make sure that we explain it, what it is. We will listen to the creator of the initiative. Accursed Farms is the channel. I'm gonna show you very quickly. So we're gonna check out he has this video from 7 days ago, the end of Stop Killing Games, and then he has an update because of course he has been getting a lot of coverage lately from really big YouTubers, and maybe there still is a chance that this very important initiative is going to have success and reach the European Parliament. And most importantly, also in the UK, I think they are looking for a certain number of signatures from the public. And yeah, so let's remove the music for now. Okay, so some of you were asking, let me stop the music over here as well, which was Golden Axe, PlayStation 2. I have it physical. It's a fantastic game anyways. So yes, I will explain it. So someone is asking here, can some explain to Stop Killing Games and can America participate? I don't think, unfortunately, American signatures work. I think this is exclusively European, but do correct me if I'm wrong. And I will explain it. We'll read it. We'll talk about it. But in general, if we really have to kind of very overly simplify this, this comes from this creator, and it literally comes from a place of care for video games. So picture in your mind that one game or those two games that just mean a lot to you. You spent a lot of time, you spent money, you invested in it, and you love them, you like them. But maybe they're getting a little old, or maybe they are already pretty old. And so you're afraid that eventually companies can just decide, which is usually in the terms of service, which is insane, the producing companies and publishers can just decide to not only stop updates, because this is not even what this is all about. We're not talking about, they stop making updates for the game, or no. We're talking about the game becomes inaccessible. You can't play it anymore, whether it be offline, multiplayer. It's not one single category. It's games in general. These games stop being usable by the people that own them, meaning you and me. We paid for it. And so he's saying pretty much, again, I'm simplifying it, but the idea is he's trying to give you, as the consumer, more protections. This is all this is. It's been misrepresented a lot by this guy, so we'll address that. This guy here will address that. It has been misrepresented into, but technically, specifically, the reality is that this is really what it is. It's like we don't want companies to be able to sell your product and decide at any time to just prevent you from accessing that product. It's as simple as that. And due to the fact that when it comes to certain games, these products are also forms of art, if you really ask me. I mean, let me tell you this. So yeah, I support it very much. But let me tell you this. Why do I even care? Why do I care, right? About preservation of games and making sure that the games are great. Right, they stay playable. But here is why. Okay, just to give you a little idea. I've been enjoying video games, ladies and gentlemen, since... Yeah? How about that? How about that? This was my first video game system that I owned. Loved it as a child. Played it very much. Still have the freaking box. That's not it. Then when I was 10, I was given this. When I was 10, ladies and gentlemen, I was given this action set. Action. This is when my life started to have action. And I'm grateful for it. And I love that I still have it connected to the CRT. I own the software and I can freaking play it. It's as simple as that. Could you imagine if everything became a brick? Doesn't, so we kind of want to preserve something. It's not new as a concept. It's just that, boom. But do you think this is it? Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a lot of stuff. Then my mom gifted me this. Yeah? My mom gifted me this, and so now I could bring with me my passion and play. Although if it was night, I couldn't see anything. But that's that. Then, you think I'm done? Then I went into the world of computers, ladies and gentlemen, and boom, we got a Commodore Amiga 500, and I felt so technologically advanced with the floppy disks. You muppet. Floppy disks. Never mind digital download. Then we moved into this. Goodness gracious, this thing is heavy. Then we moved into this, and I felt super. Ladies and gentlemen. I felt super. Look at it. Look at the colors that make it look a bit like Toys R Us. Yeah, I went into this and I thought, wow, Star Wing, or Star Fox for Americans out there. In fact, I've got you covered, my American friends. God bless America. I got you covered. Here it is. Here it is, a little square. How about this? How did you keep all the boxes? Man, I collect medieval stuff. What did you expect? This is nothing. Okay, we got this. Then I continued the evolution. And there he is. Come here. We got an audience today. Then we moved into this. It was 1995, I think. It was 1995 and we went into PlayStation, ladies and gentlemen. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're using CD. I must be a cyborg. Does that make me a cyborg? An android? So we moved into this. Then, after that happened, where is it? Where the heck did you go? I think I should have planned this better. Where did I put it? Oh, by the way, I forgot that there is also this at one point. This was a thing as well at one point. Thank you very much. Anyways, we continued. And then it was 2000, I suppose. And before that, where is it? There it is. I found it. Can you have a little patience? But then Sega was like, hey, we exist as well. Check this one out. And I gotta say, some pretty nice games in this one as well. Then we had this. It was 2000. And we were raiding. We were waiting outside for hours. We got this. Beautiful blue, by the way. Wonderful shade of blue. But it's not like Sega was gonna give up, were they? So, kind of the last song of the Swan, is it? Anyways, boom, here he is. And then, what else have we got here? Let me see. Oh yeah, of course. And then I became a Microsoft Muppet. Because, I mean, it's a box and it has an X and there is some green in it. So how could you resist? I was like, there's no way you're going to ever resist this one. So we moved into the Xbox era. And this is just a few of the boxes. Did I make my point? Or do I need to go and get the others? I'm going to get the others. Because you need to know I'm serious. I'm not done. Not done. You recognize this one? Yeah? How about this one? You muppet. Okay. Are you done, Metatron? Yes, after this one, I'm done. And believe it or not, I've got somewhere I have the box for the GameCube, but just don't remember where I put it. But anyways, did I make the point? Metatron, why do you care? Yes, so I have a monstrous collection in here of video games, and you're like, man, why don't you have a gaming channel? I have a gaming channel, you muppet. I have a gaming channel, of course I do. It's here, that's where I show all this stuff. This is the gaming channel, so come on, show me the fabric of your fiber. So this is the gaming channel. We're growing slowly, but I scream, and it's great. It's great. I don't have a Sega Master System, actually. Thank you for the question. I don't, and hopefully at one point we will. Anyways, all of this to say, my dear friends, all of this to say that I do care very much for the past, present, and future of this wonderful gaming endeavor. And hopefully this thing works, this thing happens, because it does come from the place of someone that I think is similar to me, this guy here. We both have long hair. Everyone has long hair, by the way. He has long hair. He has long hair. I have long hair. He has long hair. Asmongola has long hair. He doesn't. But what's going on with the long hairs? Are we going to conquer the world? Is this like somewhere? Whatever. Yeah, I think he's very similar to me in the sense that he really is doing this, not because he's trying to do something weird. What is he trying to do? No. He's just trying to preserve your rights as a customer, as someone who buys a product, loves a games, and just doesn't want to see company to be able to destroy their games. And he just wants to make sure that these games that we love stay in a playable state. He's not asking for crazy stuff. He's not asking for, oh, you need to now rebalance completely no, it's like a lot of games, there are servers that can, like for instance, Valheim can be run on private servers. It's already a thing. So he's not asking for anything weird. He's just asking for, let's preserve these games. And I think that this is an important initiative. We're going to read it. I'm going to go into it. I want to see your comments first. Super Nintendo goated, absolutely. And then... and that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing. Haven't cut my hair since 1999, you say? Wow, that's a very long time. Yeah, I wish I had a Master System, my friend. Game Boy Advance, I do have it, but not the box. Not the box. Oh my gosh, Bushido Blade, are you kidding? Bushido Blade is one of the best swords games out there. Probably the second one is better, but yeah. PS2 was phenomenal, and that blue box, I don't know what to tell you. It's a rich royal blue, isn't it? You can open a little museum. To be fair, my room does look like a little museum. It really does. It's like a mini museum. I should start asking for a ticket, shouldn't I? Fun fact is that Nintendo changed that for the EU, they can't brick it. Oh, good. Well, they should never brick anything. Like you're talking about the Switch, I guess. Yeah, they shouldn't brick anything. How did you keep all the boxes? With care. With a lot of care, my friend. With a lot of care. I wish I still had my N64. You can if you don't care about the box, you can find them pretty cheaply these days. If you want the boxes, I mean, I'm a maniac. I spend a lot of money on cardboard, but that's just me. Although again, this is over the years, my friend. Based, always based like my Warhammer miniatures. I'm based just like them. Just like them. Castlevania, what a great series of games, absolutely. Yeah, so that's the thing. If we as gamers don't speak up, particularly as customers, right? Because when you say gamers, some people don't take you seriously. I don't know why, because I mean, we're in 2025 for crying out loud. But yeah, customers. I'm buying a product, okay? Companies should not get away with the kind of stuff where you are agreeing to agree to this, and then you agree, and the stuff that is in there, apart from the fact that no one reads them, and I think they know that, which is why the lawyers add nonsense. They're like, we can terminate this service, and we can prevent you from using this game that you paid for, and we don't need to have a reason for it. I mean, excuse me, since when? Since what? I mean, this wouldn't fly in any other category of business or whatever service that companies are providing, and yet in the gaming space, a lot of stuff happens. And really, if this happens, guys, this could be the beginning, the first step, an important step, first step for man, to begin to start getting some rights, because otherwise they're going to be like, you don't own anything. I'm giving you a license. The cartridges are empty. They have got a download code. It's like it's going into a horrible direction, isn't it? And as someone who loves the preservation of physical copy, which I would love it to be always an option for me, by the way. But in general, this idea that I'm given a license that allows me to basically rent the product indefinitely until that it definitely comes to an end because the company decides, you know what, you're not going to play this anymore. Like, it doesn't make sense. It should be like it was in the 80s and the 90s. You buy the product, you have the game. It's basically the same way as it was when you would buy a board game. Can you imagine? I buy the board game, but it just all turns blank if the company stops. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not right. And for some people, you might think like, yeah, but games are not that expensive, apart from the fact that prices are going up. So I would say it would only make sense is with prices going up, the services are better. If services are worse and prices go up, we're having a problem when it comes to the perspective of the average consumer. But I would also say that the idea is $80 is a lot of money for people. It is a lot of money for people. Maybe not for me in this situation because I can write it off taxes because I use them for content production, but for the regular person that is not in a privileged position like I am, and I'm very grateful for it, thanks to you, by the way. For the average person, $60 as well is a lot of money. So they buy a game and then they don't have it anymore. And particularly, and it's not even just a matter of money, it's a matter of we love these games. We love these games. And so we don't want them to disappear. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So let me see. All right, so with that introduction, let's have a look at what he says before we watch a little bit the video. Yes, so this is the video in question, European Initiative, and I think if we go to the website, let me see. So this is the European Citizens Initiative, and then we'll read the objectives. This is the UK petition. Yeah, UK government and parliament. And to be honest, this one is halfway through. So if you're in the UK, this is already halfway through. They only need, you know what I mean, compared to 1 million, they only need 100,000. And this will reach, I think, the government. So yeah, the parliament. So we'll look that, but here it is. So to begin, stopkillinggames.com. Let's read how they explain it. Open quotes, Stop Killing Games, close quotes, is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video games they have sold to the customers. How can this be misunderstood by its software? Is beyond me. This is crystal clear English. An increasing number of video games are sold effectively as goods with no stated expiration date, but designed to be completely unplayable as soon as support from the publisher ends. Absolutely, this doesn't encapsulate every single video game out there, but it definitely a big chunk of video games do fall within this. This practice is a form of planned obsolescence and is not only detrimental to customers, yes, but makes preservation effectively impossible. Absolutely. And as someone who cares a lot about preservation, as I was saying, here it is, PlayStation 2, that is the thing that really hits me the most. Hey, Scarlet Rose, so good to see you. I saw someone say there was a similar initiative in Canada, but I can't find anything. I am not sure, by the way. Thank you for becoming a member again. I really appreciate that. But yeah, no, I don't know about Canada, but yeah, I mean, again, if this one is successful, maybe more will pop up. Furthermore, the legality of this practice is largely untested in many countries. Over the past year, we have successfully escalated complaints on this problem to consumer agencies in France, Germany, and Australia, and have brought forth petitions for the new law on this problem to various countries. A list of the actions taken to date can be viewed here. See, very well organized, I have to say. As of 2025, most consumer action on this matter has concluded, and we are awaiting decisions on it from several governments. However, there are a few remaining avenues left where people can participate if they are eligible. The European Citizens Initiative is open. And look at this, 686,081 signatures. I wish I could sign. I don't think I can because I'm in the US right now. But anyone in the EU, we can absolutely help. And it's to our benefit. If you're a gamer, this will benefit you. This will benefit you. European Citizens Initiative, this is the most powerful option at our disposal, but it requires a massive number of signatures from citizens of EU countries in order to pass. I think one of the reasons why you need 1 million here, whereas the English version requires 100,000, is because this being the EU, it's a multitude of countries that can contribute to the signatures. So in reality, I think as long as European YouTubers that are within the gaming space bring attention to this, I think this is doable. We just need some big gamers, because up to this point, several big gamers have entered the fray, but they're Americans. So yes, some of their audience is still from Europe, but I would say, for instance, even for me, the biggest chunk of my community is from the United States, followed by, I think right now, the UK, Germany, and Australia. I think that's how it is right now. So yeah, for me, I do have several people in the UK, in the EU that could, if they're interested, of course, try to help pushing this towards its conclusion in a positive manner. But as I say, Penguin talked about it, Asmongold talked about it, Mudhar talked about it. A lot of YouTubers are talking about it. I even saw Endymion talking about it. Like literally, this is the one thing where everyone seems to be, there he is, everyone seems to be united, regardless of personal political ideas. This is the one thing, the only exception being this guy. So I don't know much about pirate software. This guy here, even the Actman, look at that. I don't know much about pirate software, to be honest. I know he's a developer, an indie developer, but he's also a very successful Twitch streamer. The problem is that I watched the videos, and for what I could see, he has completely misunderstood what the initiative was about, and he refuses to admit it. Now, again, I don't know. Maybe he's a cool guy. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything. So this is not a hit piece on this guy, okay? But I have to underline that in my case, and to me, this has happened with important matters that have to do with history and historical representations. I have been called out for being wrong. I remember I made a video. It was a collaboration. Doesn't matter. I made a video about Norse runes. And in that video, the video was correct, but the latter part of the video was wrong. I was wrong in the research, and I accepted it, right? And I privated the video. I made another video about it, correcting the information, and I apologized publicly about it. I've done it. I've done this with a sponsor, if you remember. I have a video of mine which was not clickbait, where I said I need to apologize. It got a lot of views because I discovered that I sponsored that I was about perfumes that I was involved with when it comes from a monetary side of things with YouTube. At the end of the day, I didn't know, no one really knew about how insane the CEO was, but once that came out, I said, hey guys, I'm going to sever all business. I've already sent the email. I'm going to sever all business opportunities and endeavors with this company because the CEO is disgusting, and so that was it, right? But I apologized because I said, I mean, I don't think I had a way to know, but still, I have to take responsibility because I pushed their products. I thought the products were great. That was terrible. In fact, it was a great opportunity. But then again, I did that. And then and another time I was called out by a fellow content creator because on one video I said one thing that was wrong about jousting, and I thanked him. I said it publicly. I said, hey, he corrected me, so let me reiterate. He showed me the evidence. He was right. He was very polite about it. And yeah, and I cut it out. So the video is still up because it was only a little thing, but I removed it after the fact. So I don't know why. This person is clearly being debunked. He was clearly wrong. He just does not accept it. I guess it's a personality thing at this point. I'm not sending hate towards. In fact, please don't harass this creator. If you want to do something positive. And because what he did, his coverage halted the momentum that the initiative had. But now a lot of YouTubers are saying this, and luckily the momentum started again. And I think we saw 200,000 views just in a few days, signatures just in a couple of days. And I believe that there is still a shot, but the initiative has to get these new now 300,000 signatures by the end of July. So it's 1 month left. And this kind of discusses it a little bit. I want to say thank you for Jim Blades for becoming a member of the channel, and thank you Majora Z for the support. Thanks for covering this. Absolutely. Unsure if it was my email I sent you about it. Yeah, I read your email, but I got a lot of comments as well asking me to cover this, so I watched it. I wanted to form my own opinion, and after watching it, that's why it took me a few days, but then after watching all of this and seeing and reading it myself and seeing all the videos about it, I'm like, yeah, oh, this is good. This is a good initiative. So I decided to cover it. I sent it about the Aztec earlier. I found it. I was like, yeah, I appreciate that. And thank you, Jasper Owens, for gifting a Metatron membership. I really appreciate that. You were one of the comments says, Privateer Man. I appreciate that. And thank you, Gabernacle24, for subscribing with Prime for 2 months, man. Thank you so much for that on Twitch. I really appreciate. Who is SKG? Yeah, we're gonna watch more videos about it, Zrezra. I've already kind of covered it a little bit, but we're gonna watch a little bit of his video where he covers it and explains it to us. You don't need to live in the EU to sign, just be a EU citizen, then I will sign. Okay, then I will do it. Thank you. There we go. You see, that's why I think it's really good that I'm making this video today, because among other things, we are answering questions. So you said, Fungi, just for your information, you don't need to live in the EU to sign, just to be a EU citizen and have a valid ID number for your country of citizenship. I live in the US, but was able to sign with my ID number. Boom. Excellent. So I'm not going to do it live because I don't want to show my personal information while I'm live streaming, but I can tell you this, that as soon as I'm from Italy, exactly. So as soon as I'm done with the live stream today, I'll absolutely go and add my single signature. W tax cut, always W tax cut. Yeah. So that's great. That's great. Oh, sorry about that, Gabber. Feel free to add another message if you want. I'll still read it. So yeah. Thank you, Jin, for the support. I've been watching your channel for months, maybe years, don't remember, mostly for history-related things. You're one of my favorite creators. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thank you for your support. It's great to have you here. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, don't leak your ID, exactly. Can UK citizens sign? Yeah, I think so. And even if for whatever reason UK citizens can, I think you can, but regardless, you have your own. You have your own petition in the UK. So if you can't sign the European one with the 1 million, you can definitely sign this one. 51,976 has already gone up as we were live, in fact. And by the way, I've already put in the description of this live stream, which will become a VOD, I've already put all of the links. Every single link is already there. And as we go through and we read more and we watch more, I will be putting the links in chat as well, in both chats. I won't consume pirate content anymore. He sucks now. I understand. I mean, again, if he makes an apology video that is real, if he apologizes for it, it's like, guys, I was wrong. I misunderstood, and my ego, because at this moment it really looks like an ego problem. My ego prevented me from accepting it, but now that I watched all the videos, I agree, I was wrong. And then he could actually make a video and say, he doesn't even have to agree with it. That's what I would like to say. Like, he could say, now this is how it is. Well, maybe I would drop it. He shouldn't try to explain it. But he could say, hey, here is a section where the initiator explains it, rather than him trying to explain it, because he failed at that multiple times. He could say, here's what he says, and then if you guys like it, go support it. If you don't like it, don't support it. And then he doesn't even have to agree with it. It's not like anyone is asking him to change his mind. It's absolutely his freedom to say, hey, I don't like the initiative. I don't want people to be able to have access to the game. So maybe he doesn't like whatever it is that he doesn't like. I don't know. But yeah, if he does that, I can change my mind about the guy. Everyone makes mistakes. But if he continues on this thing where everyone is wrong, you're all idiots, I'm right, I won't admit it, then yeah, I won't be interested in his productions, to be honest. I just won't at this point. You say he just won't, just like he did last time. It's possible, but never say never. I think I always appreciate the idea of people can change, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hey Metatron, I hope you're having a great day. I was wondering about the comment section under your last video on Painter. Yeah, some were banned for quite extremist opinions, but isn't that free speech? No, because free speech has to do with the government, and my channel is not the government. So yeah, you should have the freedom to say whatever you want, in the sense that no government should have, in my opinion, as someone who supports free speech, should have the power to silence you or take away your ability to freely express what you think. As a governmental entity, the only exception being, for example, if you scream fire in a theater. We know the exceptions. There are exceptions that lead to crimes. In those situations, you're not protected, at least here in the United States within the First Amendment, but in a lot of other cases, just because people don't like what you say, they're not allowed to prevent you from saying it. But that's the government. Any YouTuber is free to decide when people cross a line. And any YouTuber can remove comments if these comments are threatening or if these comments are toxic. We don't have to deal with that. We don't have to. So yes, I removed a few. I think I removed like 3 or 4, and that's it. And that's fine. People are just like here. Sometimes you have seen me do it live. People will come here and will start insult me, and sometimes I block them because I don't have to deal with that. Why would I have to do that? So the idea is, let's not confuse, a YouTuber and his channel. Think of it this way: if someone comes to my house and starts swearing and using swear words and speak profanities to God or Jesus, he's out of my house. But he can still say it in wherever he wants when it comes to the country, but not in my house. So likewise, if I come to your house and I say something, and you have reasons why you don't like to hear that, you can tell me, I don't want to talk about that. And it's your house, and I will respect it. But outside of your house, you can't tell me that. So our channels, whether it be Twitch or whether it be YouTube, is our house. So I think it's absolutely fine if someone comes, like, for example, and I know this is a morbid topic, but I kind of want to give you an extreme example of something that happened when I was still facing intellectually, because it's not like I've ever done anything outside of the intellectual space, but when I was facing the Afrocentrist community intellectually, in the sense that we were disagreeing on a few topics, one person decided to come under the video where I announced the death of my mother due to cancer and laugh and say, ha ha ha, she burns in hell and that's what you deserve. Yeah, I blocked that. Yeah, I'm not going to he can't, freedom of speech, so I can't remove. Of course I can. And that's how it is. Now, usually I don't. And in fact, I imagine if you think that many comments are being removed, then it's the system. The only ones I removed was like 3, I think. I removed 3 because I'm like, what is this person saying? What are they accusing me of? Someone calling me the N-word. I'm like, the N-word meaning N-A-Z-I. Obviously, no one is going to call me the actual N-word. I mean, I don't know, though. I mean, these days, whatever. And so, yeah, I'm like, why is this person doing that? And so I actually, what's the word? Reported him for harassment, and that automatically blocks him. Like, it gives you the little space and you can block. And that's how it is. So no, it's not freedom of speech in that case. Let's consider what freedom of speech actually is. And that's where it is. YouTube you're absolutely right. Yeah, YouTube has become extremely aggressive with comment removal. You're right. A lot of the times, because again, it's very rare that I will remove a comment myself. It's very rare. But a lot of the times I get accused of it. People are like, hey, I just wrote a criticism. And because, of course, I'll never remove a comment just because you disagree with me. I'll only remove comments if people cross a line of decency. But as I say, oftentimes people accuse me of that. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? And the reality is that either they got so mad that they started writing in caps, and some of the words they used triggered the YouTube automatic system, or they put links. Never put links. They put links to 1 million studies because they wanted to prove, and YouTube automatically blocks that because the links could be what they could be. And therefore, that's what happens a lot of times. And in fact, I've had to reply to people and telling them, look, I didn't do anything and I don't appreciate the accusation. Next time, ask. Next time, ask. And ask me, hey, did you remove my comment? And I'll tell you, no, I'll go and check. Right? It's fine if I see it. The fact that they say, you removed my comment just because I disagree with you and that's no, I don't do that. So the fact that I already don't appreciate that, and I tell them, hey, I don't appreciate the accusation, next time ask. But regardless, let me see. So I looked at it and I said, look, the reason why it was removed is because you put 17 links. Next time, if you really want me to check out a study that allegedly or supposedly presents an opposing stance on what I'm saying, I'm more than happy to check it out. Just give me the name of the title of the study, and I'll independently go and look at it. Also because I will never, it's a policy of the channel, I will never click any link anyways, neither in the comments, nor in emails. I don't click links for obvious self-preservation reasons, and that's how it is. Yeah. You have to sleep privateer, man? No problem. No problem. Appreciate that. Yeah. Why are you removing my freedom of speech by stopping me from coming into your house and spam insulting? Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. You can't. I don't know what you're saying, Antonio, but not in this country. Antonio is saying you can yell fire on a crowded theater. No, you can't. Goodness gracious, guys, learn the freaking Constitution. Holy moly. Unless you're not from this country, but then why are you even speaking if you don't know? You know you can't. Just like I can't tell you to go and commit a crime and then say, oh, yeah, I did say go and off this person and gave you and doxed him, but hey, freedom of speech. You can't do that. Come on. You know, do you... Whatever. I'll consider you a troll. You're probably trolling. Yeah. Yeah, and in general, moderation exists on all sorts of sites. That's what moderation is. Moderation is, I don't like this comment in the sense that it's crossed a line. Where you place the line is personal and individual, and I will respect that. I don't respect it when people remove comments just because they're disagreeing, but they're being polite about it. Like then, but you could still do it though. It's your platform. I just won't appreciate that. Yeah. I see, Nick. Yes, you can. If there is a fire, I stand corrected. If there is a fire, you absolutely can scream fire. I stand corrected. You know, I admit it. Well played. I'll give you that. GG, well played. GG, well played. Oh, yeah, I did. Did you see Freda's video criticizing you? Yeah, I watched it. I am so happy that he made that video. I'm already producing a response, and it's great. It's great. It's gonna be glorious. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna talk about it on stream because I script these kind of videos, right? When we farm the drama. Thank you for the paycheck, man. I'm totally gonna do that. And he made it really easy. I watched it. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. So yeah, it's happening. Just give me a few days. Give me a few days because there are a few other things I want to do in the meantime. But I'm glad. I mean, you do know I poke bears. I do that from time to time. Not that I poked him necessarily. He just got offended for whatever the heck reason. But yeah. I mean, I do. I make videos and then I know that people will respond and then we make responses. And the reason why I'm laughing about it is because usually, I'm not going to say always, but usually my detractors, they're not methodical about it. So they're easy to debunk. What they do is either they get really emotional about it or they just don't know how to do it. And so what they do is that they lie. but the lies are easy to debunk, and in this case it's so easy. Like already in the first like 20 seconds he said something that demonstrates his inability. Anyways, I'm not going to go into it again because these people watch the live streams, download the clips, and due to the fact that during live streams you're not really rehearsing anything, so you might say something that they could use against you. So I'm not going to give him that, just like I've never given it to any of my detractors. This will be a fully scripted, well organized, well planned response. And yeah, we'll cut a nice check out of it. So I'm glad he did that, and I'm glad he performed very poorly. Oh, it's gonna be glorious, guys. I'm so looking forward to film it. Oh, that's gonna be great. I know more people will mention it later, but this is pretty much all I'm gonna say about it. So if people mention it later, I'll just say, yeah, I'm making a video about it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I hope more people do. In fact, I'm a little offended that I haven't got enough hate lately. Like, I literally, what's going on? Like, I used to get a lot more people. Do you remember? Yeah, there are a few people that made some videos. It was great. Demolishing them was so good. And man, those videos got like 500,000 views. Do you remember with the lady that said that the Roman Empire didn't exist, and then she made a hit piece on me? Oh, she's gonna destroy Metatron. And I made 2 videos about it, and I think the videos went very well. It's not always the case, but usually these drama videos do really well. Man, I must have made between $12,000 and $15,000 out of it, just from AdSense, because I'm an alchemist. I'm the ultimate alchemist. I transform hatred into gold, and so yeah, this is great. I'm really happy about it. Yeah, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. That was a classic. Yes, it was, Liam. And we are on that same level, by the way, of argumentation, just so you know. I watched the video, and it was great. Very good. Very good. Get ready for it, guys. Get ready. Bro literally won the game. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because again, so far I haven't had one who actually challenged me. Like one who literally sat down and produced a really good video where he's like, "Oh gosh, this guy, I don't know how to counter this. I'll just have to admit that I was wrong on this thing," which I would, of course. And you know, it is what it is. I mean, he made it. No, they just lie, and so it's easy because they don't even think about these. They just lie. They say stuff that isn't true that I can easily prove, and that's how it's gonna be. So GG, guys. I haven't even started. I've already won. Metatron and Ross 24-hour stream went. Ooh, I'm not a 24-hour stream guy. Look at this, by the way. We keep getting signatures. This is great. This is great. Let me give you the link. If you're in the UK, this is the link for the UK. Let's do something positive. And if you are in the EU, my dear friends, this is the EU initiative for the signatures, I think. Yeah, European Union, I believe this is it. So I'm gonna give the link for people in the EU if you want to check these out. And how about we see what he has to say a little bit. So this is his video from last week that generated the response. And by the way, this is the kind of guy that I like listening to. Positive people. The negatives, I think maybe twice a month, you know, just to make that save fund for the kids so they can go to university, and paid by my haters. But in general, I enjoy positive things in life. Am I right? Hello, Ira. Thank you for the support. Sup, just joined stream, but I oppose stop killing game, as does Debian Furor. EU will 75 screw it up, and some Asian devs will stop bringing their games to EU. I don't think that's the case. I disagree with you, but I mean, I respect your position, but I think what he's doing is a good thing. I honestly think what he's doing is a good thing. I mean, if you think about it, there are some things that happened in the EU that I agree with anyways when it comes to games. Like there was the situation where you know, for the gambling in some games, the aggressive gambling, particularly the one that goes towards kids. Yeah, I mean, it's good. So because they did that, I think this is going to be a good one. I honestly believe that. But let's listen to the man. Let's listen to the man. Hello. Oh, he's mute. So sorry. Apologies. Man, I took away his freedom of speech. What about freedom of Metatron? Why are you taking away his freedom of speech, Metatron? Let's go.
Hello.
Hello.
This is probably the final update to the Stop Killing Games campaign.
It wasn't.
Though I'm coming at you a little bit like a time traveler would. It'll make sense in a minute. As a refresher, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement to stop publishers from effectively destroying video games they have already sold to customers.
Yeah.
Now, we've gone about this in many ways, but it's easiest to divide this up by things we've already done and things we can still do. Because there's about a dozen things we've already done. Yeah, in fact...
This guy looks metal, by the way. Do you think he's a metalhead, guys? Is he I'm going to poll it. Let's look at him. I'm going to poll. As a metalhead myself, I'm going to do a poll right now. Start a poll. Is he a metalhead like me? I can see it, guys. I can see. This is Ride the Lightning type of guy, but yes, metal. No, what are we gonna say? I don't know. It's saying something funny to say. No, Muppet. So I don't know which one it is, but you tell me. Start the poll. I'm gonna do a poll on Twitch as well because this is really important. I need to know. /poll. Let's do it. Let's do the poll. Yeah, metal. No, you Muppet. He's into pop. And let's do it for 3 minutes. No, this is important. Let's do 5 minutes at least. This is not something to be messed with. My vote is yes. I think guy's metal. He looks metal. Anyways, maybe even Warhammer player, I may say.
We can still do. Because there's about a dozen things we've already done. Yeah, in fact, here's a list if you want to pause this. Going over this again will be a video in itself.
Yeah.
I'll talk more about some of this towards the end. So that just leaves things we can still do, which are only 2 items. One is for the UK to sign a government petition to bring this issue before Parliament. Though, keeping it real, I'm not terribly optimistic about this one, since the government response has been a mess by every definition.
Doesn't surprise me.
Long and boring story, but the short version is it's hit a bureaucratic roadblock and will stay stuck unless it gets more signatures. But the one that has a lot of power, so much so I think it could change the course of gaming history, is the European Citizens Initiative. Now, I said I'm approaching this like a time traveler because with the trajectory we're on, these are both going to fail. So I figured...
Now I wouldn't say so anymore because, again, this happened after the whole controversy. I believe, yeah, my metal detector is also, I'm registering some power metal in there.
Why wait until they actually do to tell people? Both the petitions end in July. The Citizens Initiative in particular on July 31st.
Right.
This video probably won't change the timeline. It's just a last-ditch attempt to wake people up on it. The European Citizens Initiative failing kind of stings. Again, this one is crazy powerful, but the hurdle we just couldn't get past was that it requires 1 million signatures from citizens of EU countries, and we've only made it just under halfway. That's really too bad, because I have high confidence this would have solved the problem of publishers destroying video games.
Yeah.
Now, why do I say that? What a lot of people don't realize is that in the EU especially, it's almost a state of lawlessness regarding the practice of game destruction. Okay, I don't want to put...
Which is why gaming publishers can do whatever the heck they want. That's the problem.
People asleep here, but the quick legal argument is that the vast majority of games with an online requirement say they can be terminated at any time for any reason.
Can you imagine, for any reason, not it's costing too much and we're losing money, not we don't have the power to or the budget to continue the development, and no, for any reason. That's crazy.
Or Blizzard likes to say any or no reason. But according to the EU Commission, that might be a violation of Directive 93/13 EEC, which protects consumers against unfair terms in consumer contracts.
Unfair terms is a perfect description of a lot of these things that we sign without reading when it comes to games. A lot of the times it's online, but this is not only about online games, by the way.
So if that term is unfair, that means that part of the contract is null and void. And if it's null and void, then what does the law say about how long your purchase lasts? Well, it doesn't. That's the whole mess. So if there are no legal guidelines, what are consumer expectations for how long video games last? Well, indefinitely. Even the average online multiplayer video games from the 90s can still work today if you didn't change the hardware or software.
Right.
So the law wasn't written for this situation. The industry's terms might possibly be illegal, and traditional expectations are games last indefinitely. Now, of course, publishers can't support games indefinitely,
Right.
but by not giving expiration dates or end-of-life plans, that might be the situation they've put themselves in. I cannot emphasize enough what a mess this is. If you were an impartial judge just trying to interpret the law, you'd have a headache. I don't know what you would do. You'd probably tell the EU Commission they need to make a law on this because this is a glaring omission. So being in the middle of this quagmire right now, if we had rolled up with 1 million signatures demanding that the EU give us basic consumer rights for video games, that would have been the easy way out for regulators, because then they would have a mandate. That's what I meant about my half-joke slide about politicians liking easy wins. This situation is such a mess that trying to settle this under existing law is more work than creating laws under a consumer mandate.
Yeah, that's insane. So let me see. I want to see if there is the section where he talks about, let's see the common opposition arguments. And then there is the whole thing about pirate software. And I really want to check this one out. As always, when I react, although then again, in this case, I'm reacting to help him out. But I'm saying in general, if you're interested in all of the legal stuff, I would suggest to check out the video, and I've already put a link in the description. Let's have a look at this little section, common opposition arguments, and see how he responds. And then the part that I'm really interested in a little bit is the part with pirate software. All right.
And that's from people who support the campaign. For all the support and fair coverage we've received, there's been some opposition too. Though I want to say 80, maybe even 90% of people who are against the initiative are against it because they think it's doing something it's not.
Right.
For example, the #1 criticism about the initiative that we've never been able to shake is that it's unworkable because you can't expect publishers to support games forever. Yeah, we know. That's why we've never asked for that. I must have said this 100 times now.
Oh my gosh, poor guy. I know how that feels. I have had to deal with things that I said it so many times, and I keep having to repeat the same thing. So I know the feeling. I can see it in the Power Metal eyes. It is what it is. But yeah.
It was written on the website from day one. But this keeps coming up over and over again. See, that's the thing. As soon as you say 3 words on requiring end-of-life plans, gamers especially will jump to some conclusion, and I never know where they're going to land. Ironically, non-gamers tend to be much better at understanding the initiative because they're not coming with a whole bag full of assumptions. A couple other criticisms are how this would violate copyright law by forcing publishers to give up their intellectual property. No, it wouldn't. Some of you may want to pause this part. Or how this won't work because of end-user license agreements. That's also not a problem. Or how this
he just wants them to be... He doesn't want them to keep supporting the game forever. He just wants them to leave the game in a playable state. And of course, it's not like, well, but I wanted an update. Well, too bad at that point. Or I wanted extra missions, mods at that point. But yeah, that's it. He just wants it so that the game is not dead. And I can support that. I absolutely support that. Let me see. You were saying strawman fallacy. For the people that are actually attacking his logics, then yes. But I think a lot of people just misunderstood. And at that point, a strawman needs to be kind of something you do on purpose during a debate. Right, so I think some people just misunderstood. So it's good that he's clarifying, and I'm happy to mirror it a little bit.
Possible because publishers already have agreements with other companies and don't have the rights to distribute that code. We're aware of that. Yes, the initiative is still possible.
Right.
Those are the ones I've seen most organically. Beyond that, there is a clear patient zero where others come from. Okay, I really don't want to do this next part, but it's become a liability for the campaign for me not to.
Please.
Our biggest critic by far is YouTuber and streamer Pirate Software, who goes by Thor. If your only exposure to Stop Killing Games has been this video, then you've been misinformed. This video is by someone who does not understand the campaign, has been trying to stop it, and has been making up what it is about. I am not saying that lightly. I will prove it in a minute. Now you might be thinking, okay, so some YouTuber got something wrong on the internet. So what?
Well, the exposure.
See, that was my thinking too. The problem is how incredibly influential this YouTuber has been. Remember that list of coverage on the campaign?
Holy mother of man, even making this must have taken, as I say, as someone who does edit, this must have taken him, man, this is like an hour worth of work at least. That's more than that. That's crazy. I think a lot of these are just mirroring what he said, the Pirate Software guy. Wow. What were you saying? Metatron, did you say you were going to make a video on dark-skinned elves in various settings, or did I hallucinate? Yeah, but not dark-skinned elves, just dark elves, because as we were discussing, dark elves in D&D do tend to have dark skin, but dark elves in, for instance, Warhammer, as you know, are as white as an Irishman. So I guess it depends on the setting. But yeah, a video dedicated to dark elves and see how they differ. It's definitely a video I would like to make. It's just as probably would be more of a video for the third channel rather than the main, but we'll see. But no, you didn't hallucinate it. You didn't hallucinate it. Did you know it's Canada Day tomorrow? No, I didn't. Well, for anyone in Canada, then happy Canada Day. All right, let's go.
Well, best I can tell, Thor's coverage has been bigger than literally anyone else on those lists, except Asmongold.
Yeah.
And the only video Asmongold had on this bigger than Thor's was about Thor's video.
Well, this has been changed, though. Asmongold now has actually made another video about it and kind of corrected it. He course corrected to give it. So this is now old information.
So for all practical purposes, Thor here has been the #1 voice on the campaign, and he's been lying about what it is. That's a bit loaded, though. In this case, I'm using the second definition of lying.
Okay, I was going to say, because I hate it when people disagree with me on something and say he is lying, because lying, yeah, you have to have the intent to deceive, to create a false or misleading impression. It's kind of a weird second definition, honestly, but yeah, I'm glad he said that, so I actually do appreciate the guy. You know, he's being precise with his language, and that's good.
I have no evidence it's the first. This video came out right as we were building momentum, then except for one boost in Germany, the signatures started drying up like clockwork. This put me in kind of a no-win scenario, too. Because if I ignored it, then a lot of people are going to get misinformed about the campaign.
Yeah.
But if I did a response video, which is not something I wanted to do anyway, then it might look like drama farming.
Oh, who cares? Honestly, if I knew this guy, if he was a friend of mine, I would have, and he told me, I don't know if I want to make that drama farming. I'm like, no, do it. Absolutely do it. Who cares? You're not doing it for the wrong reasons. And even if you were doing it for drama, well, you're still free to do it. Who cares? People do drama all the time. I do it occasionally too. But in this case, no, he's doing it because he cares about his own initiative and he wants it to be correctly represented. Totally fair.
Which could understandably turn off a lot of people from the campaign because it's not about that at all.
Yeah.
So I quickly made this video trying to clear up all misconceptions and concerns about the initiative.
Probably didn't get views, did it?
With timestamps for everyone's questions, hoping the truth would eventually come out.
Yeah.
I can see now that was a mistake. I should have just embraced the drama.
Yeah.
To this day, I'm still getting frequent comments and emails about the same falsehoods about the campaign that originated in this video. Well, now I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
If we don't get the signatures, then none of this matters anyway. So if this campaign is failing because of me not talking about this, then I'll at least correct history here on the way down.
Sounds good.
I'll get this over with and go over what I think are the biggest points of Pirate Software's videos.
Let's go.
I'm not going to go over everything because collectively, Thor has made hours of video on both me and the movement. I'd be here forever. Believe me, I could address smaller things too, and kind of already have. All right, let's start. Okay, point number 1. Thor does not understand what Stop Killing Games is. Here it is in his words.
Yeah.
So for those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically we don't want single-player games
No.
to have...
Yeah, already there was no single-player games in the whole thing, and I read it 15 seconds ago.
DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games that do not need a server to support them.
No.
And as much as they want it to be about specifically games,
He likes the word
where it is a
specific.
single-player game that has always online functionality, it would impact every live service game that exists. Instead of just targeting single-player, always online games.
No, that's not what it is. Stop Killing Games includes single-player games, but nothing about it is specific to them.
That's exactly how I interpreted it, and I just read it a second ago. And even the first time I read it, obviously it's not just... That was obvious. I mean, after the first video, I think the guy should have asked him, to be honest. The guy meaning Pirate Software.
He completely made that up, and I have no idea where he got that impression. This is what I mean. It's harder for gamers to understand this because they come with so many assumptions.
Yeah.
It's like that saying about doctors being the worst patients. So let's clear this up.
Okay.
It's the first line on the website. Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video games they have sold to customers.
That is as clear as crystal, my friends.
But the movement includes all this stuff from earlier, and he was mostly talking about the initiative. Well, the short version is the initiative is about requiring publishers to have end-of-life plans for games they've sold to customers in the future. So when they shut them down, customers can continue running them without their support.
Customers can continue running them without their support. I absolutely appreciate that. I absolutely appreciate that.
The long version depends on what kind of transaction is being made. As you can see, it's not easy to explain in a soundbite. But if you notice, we don't make a distinction between single-player and multiplayer games.
Yeah.
That's because the law doesn't either. So why make this even harder?
Of course.
Both the movement and the law are making distinctions on how games are sold. Also,
Yeah.
that part he said about it affecting all live service games, yes and no. It would affect most live service games in the future, but the initiative is not retroactive. So that's one
Right.
thing Thor doesn't understand, but he also seems to think this is about...
See, the initiative is not retroactive, but it would protect the stuff from now on that you love. So it's not that... It's complicated, complex, but it's not so intricate as to have to branch out into, oh my gosh, what about all the millions of games? It's not. I really think it's great, personally.
converting multiplayer games to single player. Once again, he made that up, and I have no idea why he thought that.
Transitioning an entire multiplayer server-side game into a single-player video game, which means rebalancing the entire experience around single player, rebuilding everything in the entire game. How are you going to do that with Final Fantasy XIV? You're just going to make all the raids soloable?
Are you having a stroke? Yeah, I think he just made that one up completely. Yeah, of course, that would be unthinkable, but no, that's not the idea. Obviously, no one is expecting a multiplayer game to become... Although then again, there are plenty of games that you can play. Like, even imagine if I have Call of Duty, apart from the fact that whatever Call of Duty it is, you still have the campaign. So, I mean, even if the multiplayer online stopped being supported by the developer, rather than rendering the entire game a brick, it would be, for the future Call of Duty, it would be nice that I could still access the game because I bought it, so I can play the single player campaign, and then locally run servers, and we can still play multiplayer. I don't see it as so, oh, now they need to rebalance the entire game. Who is asking for balance? We just want to keep games we love. Not balance.
Imagine the day that World of Warcraft shuts down, and suddenly you have to make it a single-player game for every individual that ever bought the game. That's what they're asking for.
That's a straw man.
No.
Because they would have to sunset live service games as a single-player experience. The idea that suddenly you need to make every single live service game playable single-player offline? No, dude.
Correct. No. This one is particularly baffling to me because
It's also annoying the way he said it. No, dude. It's not what he said. It's like, what? That's the thing, and this is one of the things that happens with me, with my detractors too. To have intellectual rigor and intellectual honesty, whatever you want to debate, whether it be with a live stream debate or whether it be with a response or debunking video, you can distinguish immediately serious people from haters. Serious people will always steelman their opponent's positions, meaning that they will represent the best possible version of and strongest version of their opponent's argument, and then proceed to attack that, because if you can dismantle that, then you have actually won the debate if they can't counterattack. What people that don't do this do is that they strawman. So they take what they do is that they misrepresent the point, putting words into the mouth of the creator that he never said. Again, this happens to me all the time. And then they proceed to attack the strawman, which is not the point of the creator or that person was having, because it's much easier. It's much easier. And so that's what it is. And a simpler, less sophisticated version of this is when people, like, for instance, I'm talking about Cleopatra, and I'm saying, let's look at the lineage of Cleopatra and let's try to figure out what makes more sense when it comes to where she was from. And then people take that and add in the comments, so are you saying you don't want any person of color to ever appear on screen? Is that what you're saying? And then they proceed to shame and say, well, that's stupid, thinking that is racist and it's wrong. And I'm like, I agree, but that's not my point. That's not my point. So you took something that I never thought, never said, and now you're proceeding to attack that. That's intellectual dishonesty.
because I've heard most counter arguments before, but until Thor, I've never heard this one. That we want the industry to convert all multiplayer games into single-player ones. I keep saying it. You never know where gamers are going to take this.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's directly targeting always online single-player games.
Exactly.
Oh, he's so close. He's so close to getting it.
It is vague, and because of that, it will impact anyone.
And plus, it's not like he's a lawyer. So the way he's speaking now doesn't even sound like a gamer, which is the only thing I would disagree with Ross. I like Ross. The only thing I would disagree, this is not even a gamer might misunderstand, but he is playing lawyer. He's playing lawyer right now. It's like, well, you need to be specific with the way you address the law, but you're not a lawyer, so you don't know that. And regardless, I know why he's so frustrated, because when he said this,
Dang it.
look.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's directly targeting always online single-player games.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's targeting only single-player online games. So what he should have deduced from that is to stop, have a moment, and say, oh, that's right. They don't actually say this anywhere. Maybe I was wrong. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they don't mean it, since it's nowhere. He doesn't do that, and instead decides, well, they're not being specific and it's too vague. I think this is why this guy is so angry about it. Yeah, look at that. There we go, more information here. Ross has criminal justice degree and worked with lawyers to be precise. Opposite of vague, exactly. I think it's very precise. Absolutely. Exactly, says, yeah, very good. Yeah, exactly. You were saying about the strawman idea that I was presenting, which, by the way, this has happened. I have been told that. People have made videos saying, so are you saying that? And I'm like, obviously not. But they know that. They know that. It's just that they don't have the ability to actually confront you on what you believe, because what we believe is based. Cleopatra, look at the facts. This is what it is. Based. And they can't do it. And so they have to build a strawman. And you were saying, where is it? Let me see. I do count the straw man. Yeah, that. So you say I said dumb thing that's so low. Who would be so idiotic? Shame on you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I personally don't care. I very rarely use shame on you, but in general, I prefer to just destroy just point out the logical fallacy and reestablish your original point. That's how you counter the straw man fallacy. Call it out, reestablish your point. That's what you do.
Oh, he's so close. He's so close to getting it.
It is vague, and because of that, it will impact.
He never has that light bulb moment. Well, he is correct in that statement. It's almost as if that's not what the initiative is asking for. But those were his streams with a smaller audience. What does he say in his big YouTube video with over 1 million views that he had time to research?
That's right. So that was from the live stream. And that's why I say I often don't tackle important matters or matters that can be used against me, even if they're trivial, during live streams, because, you know, if you haven't had time to really think about it, you might not have. But when you have a full researched video and you still make the same mistakes, then I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose, but I'm saying you are... Yeah, he's completely misunderstanding, yeah.
If we're trying to kill off the practice of developers putting together a live service game, pitching it as a single-player experience, and then taking away support in the future...
Now he's changed it again and is making up how it's about single-player games are advertised. What is he doing?
It needs to be specific about the business practice it's trying to defeat. Which is specifically companies that are doing this under the guise of it being a single-player game, but adding online-only functionality that is not necessary and doesn't add any gameplay elements. That's the problem.
No, that's not it at all.
And there are some people that will say, well, just make it all single-player.
Like
well,
you?
I've explained that doesn't make any sense in the first place. If you're making it all single-player, you'd have to carve off all of that, and it's developer time and money. These are two different ideologies, and that's okay to have two different ideologies. I just won't agree with it.
But those aren't the ideologies. Nothing in the initiative is asking to convert games to single player.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's directly targeting always online single player games.
Yeah, so why does he keep bringing it up? This is a total red herring.
If we don't like the idea of live service games as a whole, I get it. Don't play live service games then. Don't agree to those terms.
No, he's getting a new thing wrong now. We're not against them existing. We're against them being destroyed with no recourse for the customer.
Yeah.
Just use logic. If we didn't like them in the first place, why would we care if they're being destroyed? He says he gets it, but he doesn't.
Let's talk about the actual bad business practices. In the case that a studio is making a live service game and they sell it to you as a product, they say that you are purchasing the game or you are buying the game, when in reality you're actually purchasing or buying a license to that game. I think that we should be fighting about that. The initiative is not trying to call that out specifically. It's trying to say that all games need to stay in a functionable, playable state.
Yes!
Which is not calling out the language that is being used to manipulate the player. Call that out specifically.
Okay, I don't know if he's doing this intentionally. I'll be charitable and assume he's not. Yeah. But this is some serious obfuscation. He's complaining that the initiative isn't focused on another topic he made up. I mean, what is that logic? Hey, the initiative doesn't address how Capcom changed the look of Dante in the Devil May Cry reboot either. That may as well be what he's saying there.
Yeah.
I am not aware of a game on the planet with a license agreement that says you are not buying a license. Our problem is not with licenses failing to inform people. Blizzard says they can take away your purchase for no reason. That sounds pretty clear to me.
And that's nonsense. There has to be a reason for people, for a company to take away something you purchased with your hard-earned money. It's good. This is good for us. So, you love Mosquito Metatron, yeah. That's Mosquito Metatron right there. Yeah, the guy is the definition of there is no common sense. But in general, I would say these days, common sense is really uncommon sense. That's what we decided to call it the other day with chat. It's uncommon sense. I'm going to petition for that. How about that? Let's just write to the... I was about to say the queen, but she's dead. So we're going to have to write to the king and see what he thinks. Because, yeah.
Our problem is those terms are so hostile to consumers and the medium that they should be taken off the table entirely. This needs regulation.
Yep.
Forget video games. If you look at basic commerce for hundreds of years, when you paid money, you either got to keep what you paid for, or if it was a service, you were told when your access ends.
True.
The vast majority of online-only games do neither of those. The games industry is trying to upend basic commerce. I think you have to go back to feudalism before neither of those things are true. Why even have consumer laws if you have no rights?
And even feudalism had rights, to be fair. I mean, I could go into the details of this, already done it on several videos, but even during feudalism.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them.
Oh no! He wheeled out that line about publishers having to support the game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that in big letters. That wasn't enough.
Oh my gosh, it's true. Would not do. How? How is he misunderstanding it that much? I'm actually confused myself. Thor is on a planet not Earth. Maybe, yeah. As I say, I don't know the guy. It's not like I have a beef with him. It is annoying though that he is it does appear, I am with Ross with this, it does appear that the whole initiative has been completely misrepresented for stuff that was not present in any of the documents. So it's very strange. It is in red over blue. Maybe he should have done orange over blue, because in fact those are contrasting colors. That's why, you know, we have, even in For Honor, you have orange versus blue. It's because, you know, red is over green usually, so that's probably why.
We just can't stop gamers from going there, even when we spell it out. I admit, guys, this part hurts. To see the biggest voice on this issue get it wrong again and again and again, then put that same wrong information on blast to a far bigger audience than we can reach.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Well, now that has changed, to be honest, because, as I say, a lot of creators have come forward, but as I was saying, a lot of these big YouTubers are in the US, but still, they do have international, like, look at this, Asmongold got 2 million views 4 days ago, and he kind of showed this, so I think that has helped. And the same with Penguin Zero, why do I say Zero? Penguin Zero, this one here, 3.5 million, so now his reach is huge. So what is the latest update? There we go. Let's have a look at the update. Well, 1 hour and 37, not gonna happen, but let's see just the beginning to see what he's saying, if he's positive about this. Let's see.
Hello. This is an update and some announcements on the Stop Killing Games campaign. So I guess I was wrong in my last video about that one being the final update, though.
Yeah.
That one might still be the final edited update. There's only one thing I have planned, depending on how it goes beyond that. First off, thanks just to like 1 billion people for all the support it's gotten since I made that. It's really helped the campaign. I'm still behind on responding to everybody, but I'm pretty sure I'll get to most of it. Let's see.
While he thinks, let's see so on YouTube, we say 70% he's a metalhead, 30% says no. I'm gonna end the poll right now. So the YouTube chat declared that he's a metalhead. What about Twitch? Where do I see the results on Twitch? Let me see. How do I see the results on Twitch? Why do I never know how to do things on Twitch? First, this is a first-time chat. Hello, by the way. Let me see. Oh, it probably ended automatically, so I need to go and look for it. This is important, guys, so you're gonna have to wait, because this is important stuff. We're talking about the future of this country. So 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Let's see. So did we vote? Hello, Red Cheat. Thank you for being here. I can't find it. I can't find your votes, guys. I don't know where they are. I do think he's a metalhead, though. Oh, yeah, there we go. Thank you. Twitch said 100% metalhead with 14 votes. Wow. So, yeah, guy's a metalhead, I think. But we'll see if he responds. Very important issue, in fact. Let's go.
So, yeah, I'm splitting this video into two portions. This one's just going to be about stop killing game stuff. And the other one, it's just random things you don't have to worry about. It won't be of importance. I'll try to take some live chat questions at the end of this, or if I notice them, but I'm a poor multitasker. Okay, so I guess there was one critique on the last video that I thought I should address. I kind of mentioned it in the video, but I wanted to be more clear about it.
Please.
And that's why I took so long to make that. The main reason is, one, I really don't like engaging in like, you know, call out drama, that sort of thing. But
yeah, it's a Tuesday for me.
I also saw it as a liability for the campaign because at that time I was talking to members of the European Parliament, later the BEUC, we had the GOG deals going on, then much later the Heineken promotion. And it's like every time I would think that, okay, maybe I should come out and say this, some new opportunity or illusion of an opportunity would pop up that I thought, okay, I better back off because, you know, if
I understand. Next.
But I also think this time a lot more people understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about things becoming derailed the way I was.
Good.
Or the way it kind of did, really. So that's my stance. I plan to just leave them alone, but I will defend my position if something so nuts happens, I feel I have to respond to it. But I'm really not anticipating that.
Yeah.
From what I saw, he's mostly going over the points I addressed in the video or the video FAQ. So I feel like I've said my piece, you know. And for others, I also want to say I'm not trying to shut down discourse. I may as well say this. If you're out there and disagree with the movement and you want to debate, I can do that, but I'm very busy and I'm campaigning. So I want a sizable audience if there's going to be a debate.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, I'll probably pass.
Yeah.
So if we can have an audience of tens of thousands or more, great, let's do it.
Absolutely.
But if it's just
that's fair. That's fair. He doesn't have enough time to literally debate every single person. Yeah, and it's also in a way a response to the you'll own nothing and be happy. It's also kind of a little bit in the direction of dealing with that. Right? Let me see what you guys think in the meantime. Let me give him a better... Actually, this is pretty cool. I'll give him this one. And let's see what you guys think, because I want to hear your opinions on this as well. But up to this point, for everything I've watched and all the video responses I watched, and then the reading directly, it looks like a really good initiative, and I definitely support it, and they will have my vote. It's only one vote. Someone was asking me again, did you actually sign the petition? Not yet, because I thought I couldn't. That's another thing that we figured out, by the way, doing this video. So I'm glad that I did do the video today, because one thing I didn't know is that as long as you're a EU citizen, even if you live outside, like me, that live in the United States of freedom, then I can still sign the petition as long as I have my ID number. So I'm definitely going to do that. It's just that I have to do it outside of when I'm offline, so I don't broadcast, you know, my personal information. At this point, I might even give you my social security number. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I'll do that later. Absolutely. So I'm glad that you corrected me when it comes to that. And yeah, God bless this guy. I agree. I think the initiative is great and definitely comes from a place of loving video games and all that comes with it, including my original Xbox. So I definitely like that. Or you'll have to go back, Locomotion. We have been talking about this for an hour and 20 minutes. You'll have to return, but it's called Stop Killing Game if you want to Google it, or rewind back a little bit the stream. Since you're on YouTube, you can do that. You signed it right away. That's very good to hear. I'm glad about that. And as I say, I'm going to do that too. Metatron YouTube, did you hear about video game companies changing and removing content for people who owned the game? I think the Skullgirl controversy is a topic you could look into. No, I'm not. I know the game, Skullgirls. It's a fighting game, isn't it? It's pretty cool. I remember it. I played it on the Xbox 360 time. But what do you mean? Like, if you own the game, they remove content? What about people who don't own the game? Like, I don't exactly understand it. That's very good. Then I'll do that. Can I use my passport as ID, or do I have to use the ID card? Because in Europe we have ID cards. It's just that my ID card is probably expired by now. I usually use my passport. It is legit. Yeah, it looks completely legit. Absolutely, Pedona. I think it's excellent. And it's a step in the right direction if you don't want to continue down this rabbit hole where we'll end up like, yeah, I bought the game. I can't play it anymore. They're not refunding me because I played it for 2 hours and 3 minutes and I've got nothing left. And not to mention the idea of, yeah, I bought it and I have a physical copy, but the cartridge has nothing, or even the discs have nothing these days. So you don't own it, and they can decide to block you, prevent you from, like, all of this nonsense. Do you remember? I think the moment when this actually started was with the Xbox One, when and then they changed it immediately. But if you remember, with the Xbox One, they were actually trying. Let me put myself top right again. I'm weird. I feel weird here. There we go. When they were trying to say that the Xbox will check to make sure that you are connected online. Otherwise, even your offline games will not work and the console will brick itself every 24 hours. And I'm like, what if I don't have a connection? What if my connection, if I got a problem with the modem? Like, that got so much backlash that they stopped it immediately, which was good. But it feels like it's coming back. And companies have been poking, they've been trying ever so slightly and subtly to try and add a little more. Or we could stop the games anytime, just write it on page 96 of this huge list of things that no one watches and reads because we don't have the time to do it. I mean, come on. I really don't have the time almost to play the games. Whenever I do want to play, I don't want to read the whole thing. I just accept. They know that. They know it. And they put it on page 17. And then it's like, well, we can terminate this thing anytime. You can't say anything, even if you spent legit money. Like, people spent so much money in these games, right? Because now it's been that we have all seen the rise of free to play, which is the most expensive way to play a game these days. And so, like, it's just how it is. And then they can just terminate it anytime. Then they removed physical. Then it's all digital. Now it's a license, and they can prevent you from, if you don't actually own it. Like, it keeps going. And the Switch 2 also saying they can brick it. Like, we need to do something as customers to defend our rights. And I think that what he's doing is the first step in the right direction. Even if the way it's built wasn't the best and most optimal way to address this, at least it's one thing to go towards it. Let's see. The Xbox literally does that right now. Not that I know of. I mean, I have a Series X. I mean, it's true that I'm always connected, I guess. But as far as I know, you can play it offline. If you're not connected, you can still play offline games. Doesn't prevent you. No, the campaign is in the EU, Robo. So you have to be an EU citizen. As we discovered, you don't have to live in the EU to sign, but you have to be an EU citizen. There are links, but I'll give you more links. So this is the one, the really most important one for the European initiative, and they're trying to reach, I believe, total signatures right now 686,000, almost a 700K, and they need to reach 1 million by the end of July, which is why I decided to talk about it as well. Not that I'm big enough or influential enough to really make a big difference, but if many small differences will make a big difference. So here is the link to that for anyone who is interested, if you're in the EU. And then in a little bit, I'll share the one for people in England, or in the UK, sorry, to see Red Dead Redemption 2 single player boots you if your connection fails. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Thank you so much, Ray Gonzalez. So good to see you here, my friend. Thank you for the 5 memberships. Really appreciated your support. Yeah, that's not a problem, Robo. You're not a EU citizen. That's fine. And that's really, I really hope that some of my fellow content creators that are more in the gaming space and are in Europe will cover this. I really hope so. But even if we contribute a few, as I say, it's better than nothing. When people bought the Skullgirls, it came with concept art of the characters. The devs censored the art a few years ago, not just going forward, but retroactively. That's ridiculous, yeah. Well, I guess maybe there is some politics going in there when it comes to that. Sounds like it. Depending on what it is. I mean, I don't know what they did, but... Anything for American citizens yet? Not that I know, but if this one happens, I can imagine something for America too. And regardless, it's not like once they have to develop it in a certain way, I would imagine it might still affect markets outside the EU if that's just how they're going to do it. We'll see. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, once again, when the EU regulated against gambling in games, an example is Overwatch. Overwatch had a lot of those... what are they called? The boxes, the loot boxes. And the EU said, no, because these games are played by minors and we don't want loot boxes and gambling to connect with minors. And as you know, this is something that happens a lot in the mobile space, like a lot. And they regulated it and they removed it, like it worked. And it's not like, as far as I know, the loot boxes are not present in the American version either. So it affected the development of the game in a way that I think is positive. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're an adult and you want to spend money in loot boxes or gacha games, you can do it. Whatever. It's your thing. Just like if you're an adult that you want to go into an actual pachinko and spend all of your money in it or your salary, do it. If that's what you want to do. I mean, if you have a family, shame on you. But if you're on your own, because you need to provide. In that case, particularly if you're a man, I'm kind of putting myself in it. And I'm like, no. But again, if you like, hey, I want to allocate. I always provide for my family. Do whatever I want to do. But I want to allocate 3% of what I make. And I enjoy pachinko. Go do your pachinko. You know, you're an adult. Do whatever you want. But when games are targeted specifically, like, for instance, I think Raid Shadow Legends was a bit like that, which is why I stopped taking and I still keep getting those emails, right? They still keep getting the emails. Hey, Metatron, we would like to sponsor you. We think how much do you take for a 60 seconds integration? Or I'm like, no, thank you. And because it's not only that they are very gambling related in the sense that they literally foster addiction towards gambling and credit card usage, but also that they are designed to appeal with all the colors and the stuff they are, or the way they are done. They are designed to also appeal kids. They use their parents' credit cards. Like, there is something wrong with it. And that thing worked, and I think it affected even other markets. And so I think that could be positive. As long as they do it, it will be good, because then you're like, oh, I love this game, and now I know that I bought the game, I'll be able to play it. Even if the developer at one point, for reasons that can make sense, if they're not making a profit off of the game anymore after a few years, sometimes even after a month, some games have failed that quickly, but maybe you loved it. Maybe you still loved it. Well, then you can play it. You know, it's not a brick. That's really all he's asking. And there are a lot of sub-notes and some things that have to do with the matter of the law. But yeah, the general idea is this. Once you buy a game and you love it, you can play it. Yeah, gambling is very much like drugs. It is a form of, absolutely, yeah. Totally. Steam refunds are another example. Steam lost in court, specifically in Australia. Instead of rolling refunds to just Australian, there you go, customers, they took the path of least resistance and rolled it globally. And that's fantastic. I would say that generally speaking, Steam refunds are pretty legit. I wish it was a little longer than 2 hours, but I guess the idea is if you played it for more than 2 hours, you're probably enjoying the game. So at that point, I understand why they need to put a time, because otherwise people will do it on purpose. They will buy the game, play it for 15 hours, and then say, I didn't like it and want a refund. So I understand why they needed to put a demarcation. For me, 2 hours could be a little, if it's like I would personally do it depending on the price. If it's a $2 game then, or a $5 game, maybe give it, like, you got to make your mind. But if it's an $80 game, at a $120 game, maybe I would guarantee a little more time to the player to really see if they enjoy the purchase. But whatever, I'm still happy with what we've got. 2 hours is plenty of time, at least for me, usually. And so, yeah. Now, when it comes to, for instance, indie games, there are indie games that you can finish in 2 hours. In general, I never ask for a refund, even if I finish the game in an hour and a half and I think it's a little missing. If I enjoy the developer and I think they have potential, I want my money to stay so that maybe they can make a better game if I enjoy their style and I think they did a good job. Like, the game is good, it has potential. Like, recently I played a game called The Elevator, and I think it had a lot of potential, but it was kind of short. I actually finished it within the 2 hours line. It's also possible that it's because I could have explored a little more, maybe not in that one, but there are games that you can literally rush, right? So it's also dependent on the player. But for me, as long as the only case in which I ask for a refund from an indie developer is if they are not providing, like, it was deceptive. Like, sometimes in these mobile games, they will tell you the game is like this, and then the game is nothing like it. Then yeah, I don't care. Like, refund. But if it's an indie developer, even if the game is a little short, but I think they have potential, I want them to keep my money because I enjoy what they do. I love the indie space these days. It really feels like it's the natural continuation of how gaming used to be when we were playing old school consoles, right? Where every game felt like it was a work of original creation and art. And I feel like modern AAA gaming, exception being some cases, is a spin-off. It feels like a spin-off. And indie games are, in fact, the continuation of how gaming used to be when like in the 80s. That's my feeling of it. As someone was, as I showed at the beginning of this, I played through it all. That's how I feel right now, which is why I have spent a lot of hours into indie gaming. And AAA now has become like, again, there are some AAAs that are fantastic, but in general, I would say AAA, you can tell that marketing experts and mass psychologists have entered the picture. Like, you can tell. Absolutely, yeah. It's so obvious that it's just become exploitative in the sense that the games are designed specifically with the target of maximize profit. And there is a lot of pay to win. We know that. Usually now they got so much backlash that pay to win has become a little rarer. It still is a thing though. Like, lately I've been playing this game that I actually enjoy a lot. It's such a shame. This game here, it's called Stronghold Kingdoms. And as you can see, I left it running while I'm live because, and by the way, I need to tax them. Tax the peasants. 19,000 gold. Let's go. And yeah, I'll give him the beer though. Let me see the other city. The other town, it's the one I have the vineyard. Let's tax them. We need to get some troops. So I'm going to recruit a pikeman, 3 archers. Thank you. How is the castle? Look at this castle I built. It's pretty nice. And then the little town has got this little castle, but I've got some good crusaders here, some good troops. So anyways, I really like this little game, but it is monstrously play to win. Pay to win. Sorry, play to win would be great. Pay to win is a problem. This game is monstrously pay to win, but I still play it. I just don't pay. It's as simple as that. And I play, I enjoy it. And if a pay to win guy destroys me, I'm like, whatever. Because I like the game. The mechanics are nice and it's free to play, so I didn't spend any money in it. And it's a good game. I enjoy it. Like, it's very well designed, but the pay-to-win element to it is ridiculous, which is why I'm not necessarily supporting it. But we really live in that era right now, don't we? It's really a matter of how much money can we squeeze from players rather than I want to craft the best possible experience and I really want to leave a mark in the gaming space, which was the basic objective of the majority of developers in the 80s and the 90s. And you can tell. You can absolutely tell. You can tell. Yeah, I think YouTube offers refunds. I believe so. I don't know how it works because it's beyond me. It's YouTube that runs the membership situation. I think you can refund. If it were up to me, absolutely, I would refund anything. anything. Even the plushie that I'm coming out with, you know, guys, on the 10th, I'm dropping my plushie, the Metatron plushie Pedantic limited edition. And so basically, I think the campaign lasts between 10 to 14 days, if I remember right. And during the entire campaign on all of my channels, every single video, every day, because I'm a daily uploader, I will be mentioning the campaign and the plushie. But the plushie does have a refund, of course, if you don't like it for whatever reason, but you will because it's great. But yeah, what plushie? Oh my gosh, I'll have to ask my wife to bring it up because it's... Oh no, it's here. Wait, I can show you. The plushie is here. Let me read Ray Gonzalez and then I'll show you. The game industry is in the state it's in because corporations took control, absolutely, of an industry that should be for a hobby. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So let me show you again. Let me show you. Let me pick myself up. Here I am. Now, if I was... You could tell I'm not like into marketing and stuff because in theory I should have started with this, but whatever. So this is me, Pedantic edition. This is Meta. The Brigandine is historically accurate, by the way. The hair, I annoyed. I know they were nice, but I annoyed the shit out of them. Sorry, makeshift people, because they kept getting in the initial designs. They kept getting the hair wrong, and I'm like, look. You need to get the hair right longer. So they did it again. I'm like, no, it needs to reach longer. So now it's historically accurate. The hair is historically accurate. And this is going to be Pedantic edition, which is a limited edition with the word pedantic. And that's my plushie. So we're going to have that. And it's going to be launched on the 10th. Sorry. What am I doing? There you go. It's going to be launched on the 10th of July. And so for the next 14 days, every single day on every channel of mine, I'll be reminding you of this. And yeah, so that's happening. It's an historically accurate plushie of the Metatron. So that's happening, and it's gonna be great. It's adorable. Thank you, Sassy. Appreciate. Yeah, it's cute. It's very nice. Yeah, my wife loves it. In fact, it's always with my wife. Today is a miracle. That's why I immediately thought it's probably downstairs because she's obsessed with it. But no, it's here. So we're gonna have that. It's gonna be launched on the 10th with all the links and whatnot. And yeah, plushie mentioned. Absolutely, absolutely. Here's the plushie. Here's the plushie. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Pedantic edition. Yeah. People, yeah, they'll say it's not ritualistic. They'll say it's ceremonial. People will say, oh yeah, we found this copper alloy artifact and we believe that it was ceremonial. It was ceremonial. You are ceremonial, you muppet. Imagine having a plushie of your spouse. Man, it would be great to have I'd have to say if they do... I think they only work with influencers like that. I hate that word. I think they only work with YouTubers and like online people. I don't know if I can literally request them. Could you make one of my wife just to make her happy? I don't know if they would do that. Ceremonial, yeah. Did you see your Muppet animation? Not animation, no. I saw myself as a Muppet, but... yeah, I've seen that fan art, if we can call it like that. But I haven't seen it animated, no. All hail Pedantic plushie, yeah. Metatron was like, make the hair so long, it looks like a charred rotisserie chicken. He does have chicken legs. Check your email. All right, I'll look at the email, but if it's a link, I can't click it. Channel policy. So you'll have to give me the actual name of the video, if it's a video. You got the frogmouth one, Vote very nice, appreciate. Yeah, that was the one we did for the hospital, St. Jude's. It is historically accurate, you're absolutely right. Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is, the game's destroyed forever is the worst thing possible. Absolutely. That's why I personally support the initiative. I am going to sign. Metatron is ceremonial. Maybe I am ceremonial. It's possible. Man, they might think that my hair is ceremonial. How about that? Goodness gracious. How is the game you're making going? So my first experiment with game production has been very slow, kind of a steep learning curve, particularly when it comes to the spaghetti code of is it Unity I'm using? Yeah, it's Unreal Engine. Sorry, it's Unreal. Yeah, and yeah, so I'm trying to do it, but I hope that at one point I can take like a month off, not for content creation completely, but like if I could dedicate more time to it, because the reason why it's taking so long for me to learn the software is because I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to it. I'm pretty happy that I managed to code the animation of opening and closing a door and switching on and switching off the light. That took me forever. But yeah, so what I was doing is I'm trying to learn how to develop games. And I'll show you in a second. I'll show you the video. And basically, I do want to develop eventually like some kind of either medieval fantasy or ancient Roman game, like something simple but kind of fun. But I kind of started with something that I thought would have been easier to produce, which was a game set in the modern period. And then I thought, how about I do a short horror experience, since I do enjoy playing those, more of a psychological thriller thing. And so I started developing that. And I bought some assets, and then I modified some of those assets because I still wanted to look original. So I had to learn a little bit of 3D manipulation. And I think that it's looking nice. I can show you. I'll show you. How about I react to my own? I did a little trailer for this mini horror experience, and I even I dubbed it. I did a little voiceover, me and my wife. So the voices you will hear in a second, it's me and my wife. I'll show you right now. But then again, do remember that I'm still at the beginning of the process, okay? So let me see. It's the ones you might be like, how do people know? Because it's in the members. It's a members video, but I'll share it with you since it's been a while. I can totally share it with you now. But members have seen this, and whenever I do have an update on both this game and future projects like that, I'm also doing an interactive book game like Choose Your Own Adventure, but without this name, so I don't get copyrighted. I'm also producing that. So all of these are usually updated in the members section. So for anyone who has become a member, you will always have access to this information as I produce the games and updates. And then once the game is finally finished, or the Choose Your Own Adventure book is finished, then everyone will have access to it. All right, so visibility, members, and here it is. It's a teaser. It's a 1-minute teaser, but let's go. I'll share it with all of you during the live stream. So as you can see, let me make sure that we've got audio, and everything you see in there, I have made. So the assets, again, some of the assets I made, some of the assets I bought, but some have been manipulated, changed the colors or added textures or changed a little bit of shape. So yeah, this is an environment that I created, and let's have a look. And of course, I'm gonna put in any game of mine, particularly the ones in the present, I'm gonna put somewhere a computer where or a TV where you're playing one of my videos. Obviously, I'm gonna do that. You know that there will be a Hello Noble one. So every character will be a subscriber to the channel. So there is that. All right, guys. So let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello?
Hey, where are you?
I think I'm dead.
What? Why is the door open?
There we go. So yeah, you liked the voice acting. That was me and my wife. That was me and my wife. But this is just the first idea. And as I say, I created this to learn how to place assets, manipulate 3D environments, create areas, how to move from one area to the other. And by the way, the parts where you see that I'm moving, turning on, that's all gameplay. That's actually gameplay. It's not a video that I'm playing right there. I got the music from royalty-free Storyblocks. It's the name of the thing. She's a good voice actor. I appreciate that. Let her know. I think she did a very good job. So yeah, the premise is that you have this couple, they live in this apartment, but then the guy that you play as receives a phone call from his girlfriend, and she speaks and tells him, I think I'm dead. And so the mystery starts from there. You need to look for her, figure out what's going on. And so it's going to be like a simple story. As I say, this was mostly for me to learn how to do simple 3D object manipulation, placement, animations, code, because I'm using, again, spaghetti code. I don't know how to do more complicated things, but yeah, so that's the idea. And once I complete this project, then I will start working on something medieval and see where we can go from there. But I'm having a great time. It's just that it's taking forever. But if you enjoy these kind of updates, I have several. Do become a member of the channel, because as you see, this was a member-only video that I decided to share because why not? It's been a while. And I will 11 months ago, yeah. And so, as I say, I progress slowly, but I'm learning. I'm learning, guys. Metatron uses his actual voice. Yeah, that was me. No AI to be found. Nothing at all. This is all handcrafted. And it's going to be fun. What are you using for 3D modeling? Believe it or not, I actually modeled within Unity. Not Unity, Unreal Engine itself. I know that there are specific softwares that are used for it, and eventually I'd like to learn those. I'm just trying to keep it like, first I figured this one out, and then I can expand a little bit. And yeah, thank you, the champion for Reformed, for the support. Justin Kirk is being watched by a demonic entity. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I don't know what that means. Looks awesome. Thank you so much. And as I say, this is just, I appreciate you guys like it. And yeah, I think once I learn the technical aspects of it, and possibly if I can at one point partner with someone who knows gaming development, and we could partner so that I don't have to develop every single asset and write the code for every single freaking animation. Even the flashlight took me some time to figure it out, but I'm actually happy that it works. Like you have the button, you push it, and I think I put it on F because I hate the games that put it on space bar or E. With me, flashlight, it's F. I don't even want to hear it. And but yeah, that took a little bit. I think I do turn it on. In fact, that's why I put it in the little teaser here. Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, where are you?
I coded that, and I was so proud that I'm like, I need to do this. I need to do that. You walk in the kitchen, and then you turn on the flashlight. So anyways, I'm a simple man. I get happy with small things. But yeah, no, as I was saying, little by little, learning it, and then why not? Yeah, you're in the noble ones. Absolutely, absolutely. And then once any game that I make, whether it be a proof of concept like this one, or whether it be something a bit more substantial, whenever I do release them on Steam, I'll make sure I'll see how it works, and I'll have to consult with people that know how this is, but I will try to keep the prices as low as possible. So yeah. Never expected Metatron game development. Man, if I ever, I don't know, because I don't want to say, like, it's not that I believe in jinxing, I don't. But just as an expression, I say I don't want to jinx it, in the sense that if any of my channels explodes, and by the way, this seems to be happening, and I'll tell you why, at least on the second channel. If any of my channel explodes and I get a large amount of money to the point that I could invest, I think one of the areas where I would love to invest is absolutely game development. And I'm saying, like, even a small little studio, like with 5 people, like 3 good programmers, and then a musician, and me for the story and the ideas, and then obviously the platform. I would do it. Absolutely. And pay them a salary, looking at the portfolio, pay them a salary, and then have a creative idea with the community, poll it, be like, hey guys, what do we do? Do we do ancient Rome? What can we do? Like something like that. I would love to enter the indie space. I really would. It's just I think you need a budget. What do you guys think for an indie game? I think it really varies depending on what your ideas are. Let me Google it. What's the base budget? Get to put a Muppet. No, I can't get a copyright claim. I do game dev too, but I'm making my own engine. It's rough. Oh my gosh, even making your own engine. I respect that, man. I do respect that. So let me Google very quickly. What's usually... I'm thinking tens of thousands of dollars. What, between... I guess it depends on the game, but let's see. What is the average budget to make an indie game? And I know it varies monumentally, but let's have a look at an AI overview just to have an idea, and then you guys can help me correct it if it's not giving right information. Let's see. The average budget for an indie game can vary widely, ranging from a few $1,000s to several $100,000. Well, yeah, but several $100,000 out of the question. A solo developer may spend around $50,000 for a year of development, while a team of 5 might spend $250,000 to $500,000. That is a lot of money. That's what I mean. So, like, I think a few grand is the bare minimum. Like, you need to have probably, like, something in the lines of... Yeah, I want to say maybe a minimum of $50,000 to invest as a bare minimum. Now, of course, once you have a good project and a good idea, you can always try and crowdfund. That's always something that you can do, but you need to have a really good project, which is why I first wanted to, because I don't know anything about the development space from the inside. I only know it from the outside as a gamer. But I'm thinking... I wanted to kind of start and figure it out a little bit, which is why I put, as you see, a few months, about 11 months now, give or take, into figuring out how difficult is it really to animate things, to learn to use and manipulate 3D assets, and that kind of stuff. And so I tried to figure it out, and eventually, if I can come up with a really good project, and I'm thinking, man, the noble ones would love this, then I'll crowdfund it. But I want to first wait until I have a really good idea. A really good idea. That's basically where I stand with that. But it might happen in the near future at one point. We'll see. Crowdfunding is a magnet for drama and disasters. Man, I've done 3 successfully. Never had any drama. It's not even difficult. I'll be honest with you, Katis. It's not even difficult. Just be honest. Just be honest. Because then if you're honest and you really tell people in the most transparent way, here is why I'm trying to raise this money, then the only people that will actually hate you are your haters. But they were going to hate you anyways. They were going to hate you whether you were going to do, when I make $1, make $100,000, whether you were going to come out with your plushie, whether you were going to do, even if you don't do anything, your haters will hate you anyways. You might as well be hated and be rich than be hated and be poor because you're afraid of the haters. They will hate you anyways. So that's why I say I've done crowdfunding. My very first crowdfunding I did for at the very beginning of my channel, and it's because I had a lot of ideas. I wanted to test samurai armor, Roman armor. I couldn't afford it on a teacher's salary, and so I said, guys, I would like to crowdfund. I calculated it, and I thought if I have about $3,000, I could buy Roman armor, shield, samurai set, and this and that, and a helmet and whatnot, and I crowdfunded it. It was a success within. We raised it in 24 hours. I made more, in fact. I made almost 4,200, I think is what I made. And that was a success. The second crowdfunding that I did was for a because that went well. And I produced so many videos with those things. Because I know that sometimes people are like, they crowdfund, but then they don't do what they promised. Well, I absolutely did. And then I used it to make hundreds of videos. And then I said, hey, let's step it up. Let's do medieval suit of armor. I crowdfunded my current plate set, which was another 4 or 5K, I think. About 5,000. So in armor, I crowdfunded about $9,000 to $10,000, which worked, and I used it. I made a lot of videos about it with the produced content with it, and then the only other crowdfunding I ever did was to help my parents, as you know, and their crowdfunding also went really well, and I thank you for that. But when I made that crowdfunding, which I do want to be specific, I made that crowdfunding and I wrote down a list. I didn't script it because I don't script crowdfunding things. I just want to be genuine and speak like I would speak to a brother or a sister or a friend. So I don't script them with marketing and strategies. I don't do that. But the thing I did do, I'll read the super chat in a second, but the thing I did do was to write down a list of things that I would use the money for. And the first line was, the majority of the money I tried to crowdfund $20,000 because I calculated that was what I was gonna need in order to help my mom through cancer, in order for her to have the best possible treatment, and also to pay for people to take care of her, people that would go and clean the place, people that would go and buy things for her, because I didn't live there, right? So I needed to make sure that she would be provided for. And also I said, if I hit 20,000, that could cover her rent, it could cover everything, so she doesn't have any worries, right? So we achieved that. And then I said, any money that I make that goes above the 20,000 range, I will use to take care of my dad at that point, because I know how much my mom worried about in her last days. She was worried about my dad, who's going to take care of him and that kind of stuff, because of his pension is the minimal. And so I said, any extra dollar that I make from that crowdfunding campaign will be used to take care of my dad. I said up to another $20,000 because I wasn't expecting it to go that far. And so I said 20,000 for this, 20,000 for my dad. And then I said any other money that comes out of that, if it happens that we go beyond that, then I'll use it to refund myself, because having to go back and forth on a moment's notice with my wife from America to Italy in order to go and be next to my parents cost us a lot of money. Like I had to buy tickets the day before, spent like $9K, $8,000, $5,000, and that really hit my own personal business financials. And I still did it, and I would have done it, but I said, if anything goes beyond, then you know that you are also donating, and we will use it to take care of those expenses. And yes, the crowdfunding was very successful. But as I say, I made it all clear. This is what the money is going to be used for, and I stuck to my script. And not even a dollar was used that was outside of this spectrum. And I think that that's great. I think that that's, and even now, I keep sending every month money to my dad. That now the fund is mostly gone because it's been a year and a half almost. But throughout this entire time, that's how it was. And so, yeah, if you are honest about it, only the haters will hate you, and they won't matter. Thank you, Ray. If you ever played Deadliest Warrior, the game, oh yes, I do. You could do that, except without the dying in 2 hits. Realistic, yes. Fun, maybe. But yeah, I loved both. I played both for Xbox 360. Deadliest Warriors games were great. We had so much laughs about it. It was fantastic. Yeah. I honestly don't get why people hate you. People hate me, Derek, because I stand for what I believe in. And oftentimes, they hate me simply because they disagree. And they hate the fact that oftentimes I'm right. And I'm not right because I'm so smart. I'm right because I ask professionals and I have an excellent team. And so sometimes we are wrong. But the problem with these people is that the people that hate me, apart from people that are jealous, whatever, they don't matter. But the people that hate me because they're so ideologically driven that they misread me. They believe lies from other people that are saying things about me that are not true. I'm not a hateful individual, and that's obvious. And because they are incapable of engaging in true and honest debate with people that disagree, they're tribalistic. and this is really something that has happened due to the current space that we inhabit, both within the political spectrum, but in general, even religious versus non-religious, like no one is able to have a normal conversation. No one is able to sit down with a coffee and say, look, I disagree with you on this and here is why. And no, now it's all about shaming, guilt tripping, guilty by association. If you think this, you're horrible. Here is why you are ex-racist or this or that, or you're a bigot or you're woke. It's like you have to, it's a label. It's a label generation now. Everything is labeled, and that's what it is. People hate me just because they disagree with me and they are not capable or actually sitting down and showing me why in their mind I'm wrong about something. It's the Redditor mentality. That's what it is. It's the Redditor mentality. I mean, just today I saw, because again, I'm preparing a response video. So I wanted to see, due to the drop of a certain video that I will not name right now, but I'm responding because it was ridiculous. I thought definitely Reddit is going to love, because whatever content that hates me is up. Redditors love it. And of course, I checked. And yeah, there were a few people that were saying, oh yeah, Metatron. Yeah, it's great that people are making videos against him. I really hope his wife leaves him. Like, this is low life. And that's why I say, you want to do your crowdfunding? Do it. Do it. They will hate you anyways. So at this point, be hated and rich. You know what I mean? Stand for what you believe in. Don't go down to their level. Don't go down to their level. And just do your thing. Yeah. And just do your thing. Army of Darkness is best. What, the movie? Or is it a game? Data-driven versus ideologically driven. You're absolutely right. Look, see, you tell the truth and they try to stop you. I know it's disgusting. I mean, people have said that about Shad, saying, I hope that they take away his kids. And why? Because you don't agree with his politics? I mean, what? I disagree with his politics sometimes, and sometimes I agree. It depends. Depends on, it's kind of item by item, but so what? I think he's a good father. He loves his kids. He loves his wife. If you disagree with his takes, take down his takes. Say, hey, he said this. He's objectively wrong. Here is why. Or if you think you have superior politics to his, then show it. Show why your ideas, your positions are superior. From a moral perspective, from an ideological perspective, from a social perspective, from an economic perspective, whatever the heck you want. Foreign relationships, I don't know, everyone is whatever. You can do it. But, you know, to say, I hope they take away his kids is, no, then I don't trust your politics. Then I don't trust what you think, because you have no honor. You have no decency. And so at this point, I would rather engage with him, regardless of the possible guilty by association nonsense that I don't care about. I'll engage with him, and sometimes we'll agree. Sometimes I'll say, no, Shad, I think that's too far. I disagree with that. And that's fine. Plus, he's a lovely guy. Yeah, exactly. I think he's a good guy. I don't think he may have some... Yeah, that's fine. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. Absolutely, we're losing the art. It has become a rare gem. Like sometimes when I see people in the comments and I'm like, okay, hater, angry mob, okay. And then finally I find that the person, and I'm not just saying the person that say, Metatron, you're awesome. Yeah, great, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I'm saying the people that say, Metatron, I disagree. Here is why. I appreciate your work though. This is nice. And I'm like, ooh, wow. This is getting rare these days to see someone who doesn't go into the name calling immediately and actually looks at it from a factual perspective and tells me in a civilized manner, because then I can respect you. And in fact, you will have a chance of convincing me. But people that come and just tell me, I hope you're the because you are this. And then they say, I like the guy that we're going to debunk who said that apparently I hate women or something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I already read you. You're like an open freaking book, man. So yeah, it's just what it is. Exactly, without any basis. It's because they believe, this is not everyone, by the way. It's just some people are so radicalized these days that they adopt the cult mentality. And once you have the cult mentality, then regular things that would be immoral, even in your worldview, become justified because it's your side that do it. And so if it's your side, well, the other side is always bad and always evil. My side is always good and everything is right. So I'm justified in doing things morally reprehensible because I'm doing it for the right cause of calling out the people on the other side. This is the mentality. It's what has happened. I told you about this, that I was so happy with the situation with Frogan getting sued. And I'm so happy to double down on that because she's one of these individuals. Please don't harass her. On my sake, doesn't matter. She's been sued into oblivion and that's enough. And I don't do it because of politics. Who cares about their politics? It's her freedom. She can believe whatever the heck she wants. It's because of the horrible thing that she has said in the past that really cross the line of human decency. And when you cross the line of human decency, at this point, I don't even look at your politics anymore. I don't care. Now I look at who you are. It's like a mask has fallen and I can see your true colors. Now I see what you are, and honestly, evil people, they're just evil. Yeah. And so, yeah, she deserves it. 100% she deserves it. It's a crazy situation, guys. Germany, World War II. There is a certain connection to that, yeah. At the end of the day, didn't they justify horrible and atrocious reasons? How did they justify an indoctrination? Thank you, Ray. Modern politics in a nutshell. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Oh yeah, Hatashiai game. I don't know. I remember the game looked awesome. It's the one about swordsmanship, right? The samurai. Yeah, that was fantastic. That was fantastic, that game. I remember making a video about it a very long time ago on the main channel. Yeah. Crowdfunding a simple purchase is way different than crowdfunding a game or a movie, though. Sure, that's why I say you need to have a good project beforehand. Because if you crowdfund something and then you're not able to do it because you didn't research and then you don't deliver, then yeah, that's a problem. That's why I'm saying I'm waiting for this and I'm trying to learn and really explore the situation. I think I would only crowdfund a project like that after I'm ready to start and only need the funds. But I'm ready to start. That's what I would do. Yeah. What are you guys going to have for dinner? What should I have for dinner, guys? Should I poll it? I love it how I end up, the other time we said pasta and I made pasta. We said pizza and I did make the pizza. What am I going to have tonight? I need to start an OnlyFans. Now for me it's only Holy Fans due to my name. Chianti, I have no access to Chianti. Trader Joe's pizza. Yeah, I would love to. We have to go to Trader Joe's. Now it's a little late. Yeah, 8 p.m. is a little too late for Trader Joe's. I'm sorry. Abysmal says it was his stance on AI art that made people hate him. Yeah, the people in that space, yes, but I think people were already hating him before because of his very outspoken politics. These are two camps, but sure, I mean, he did go into a very controversial... But then again, it's his freedom to share his opinion, and that's why I say rather than hating someone who has an opinion on AI, just share why they're wrong. But I guarantee, I know the guy, I guarantee that if someone made a response video but did it with respect, Shad would cover it. He would listen. He might still disagree, right? I guess it's not really easily convinced, but yeah. Yeah, people hated Shad long before because of politics. I agree. And I think even before politics, Shad was receiving some hate from the HEMA community because he did have some takes on HEMA that I personally also disagreed with. Because again, I'm one of those that I'm like, yes, but I wouldn't feel like I can have some opinions on HEMA, but I wouldn't consider myself to be an ultimate authority on HEMA because I don't have the experience. Now, he doesn't consider himself to be an ultimate authority on HEMA, but he has challenged the opinions of people, which is fine, but he has challenged the opinions of people that were very experienced in HEMA. And at that point, I'm like, I don't know, Shad, I listen to your idea and I think you should be free to do it, but I also think you may have missed the mark on a couple of ideas, but just a few. And as I say, it's still, why hate him? Why hate him? I don't know. I think people hated him also because he was successful. People hate success. People hate success. And it's a matter of jealousy and being envious. I think jealousy is really one of the worst feelings that humans can have. Really, the only thing above it, it's like psychopathy, sociopathy, but jealousy, it's really bad. Like the idea of, oh, I hate you because you have something that I don't have, even though you earned it. Because jealousy doesn't have boundaries. Like, it's not like I'm only jealous if, well, you were born rich and I had to struggle my whole life. I can get the frustration totally, right, with the system and some injustices in the system. But when it comes to, like, particularly if it's like a spoiled kid and doesn't even appreciate what they have, and they're like, oh, my life is over, I couldn't have the best iPhone the day of release, and I'm like, what? I'm struggling to reach the end of the month. Absolutely, people can be frustrated and cringe because it is cringy. But I'm saying people that are like someone who works hard and earned the success they have in whatever field, and then I have to be jealous because I don't have it, but did you work hard for it? A lot of the time the answer is no. Well, then again, here you have it. Yeah, Metatron hit it on the head. It's jealousy and envy. Absolutely, that's what it is. Oh, you're making a game. I heard something about that before. Yeah, the VOD stays up. So once the VOD is up, you can rewind and find it. We watched a little bit of a teaser, trying to learn. Plus, at the end of the day, I like, and just to conclude this, I like to look at the people, their actions, and then I look at their words as well. But at the end of the day, their actions mean more to me because people can say stuff and I could be like, man, I don't know, I don't agree with that. But why did he say it? People can have a bad day. So I usually look at the actions of people. And that's one of the reasons why I will never stab Shad in the back, regardless of whatever position he may have that I may disagree with and what have you, is because when it really mattered, when my channel was mass demonetized about a year and a half ago, and he was the only one. No one else of any other YouTuber that I've ever interacted with did anything about it. Shad made a video, and together with Tyrant, and covered it and said, guys, Metatron got demonetized, mass demonetization, all of his channels. And so he said, if anyone can support him during this time so he can continue to produce videos while he tries to sort this out, he did it. And the reason why, to me, that it clearly overrides everything he will ever say, right? Unless he goes into something that I don't think he will, because he's a good person, as I say, is because thanks to him, that morning when my anxious wife was really panicking, while I was hugging my wife, I told her, don't worry about it. Shad made a video. I made my own video. Shad made a video about it, and it's getting a lot of views. We're getting donations because of the views, and she felt good, and she calmed down. That's gold. If you're a husband and you're watching this, you know what this means. And so from that moment, Shad got my friendship forever. Because at that point, he's not someone, I know the guy online and we collaborated sometimes. No. The guy did it. He did it. And no one else did. And so that's why, to me, I'm always going to give benefit of the doubt, regardless of what he says, exception being extreme cases. But I haven't seen any, to be honest. I always give him a benefit of the doubt. And he's a good friend. And at this point, if he does say something or has an opinion that I think it's I hate the word, but excuse the word, I can't think of another example. I'm getting a little tired. Problematic. I hate the word because, again, freedom. But if he does have an opinion that is problematic, I'll talk to him like a friend. I'll say, hey, Shad, you said this, but do you really believe it? And then we talk. And we've had discussions like this, by the way. And he's very receptive as long as you are not attacking him. But I'll talk to him like I would to a friend. And that's how it is. Has he ever been extreme? To my opinion, no. But do remember that the center is now starting to become extreme. And so someone who is like him is not centrist, is quite definitely right wing when it comes to his positions, but he's not far right. He's not a far right guy. But anyways, yeah, we are getting into a space where the center doesn't exist anymore, and so everyone is labeled an extremist regardless. So no, I don't think his ideas are extreme for what I could see. I think sometimes the way he expresses those ideas is not the best and can be misconstrued and can be misrepresented. But in my opinion, every time I've noticed that he said something, and you know, I'm a very moderate guy, I'm very like, everyone can live their life however they want, freedom and that kind of stuff. Every time I discussed with him privately and I said, hey, you said this, and then he said, no, I meant that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, obviously it's fine then, you know? That's what I mean. Shad Diversity is the channel. I think it's a good channel. I love his channel. I think it's a really good channel, and I think he's a good guy, personally. Oh, yeah, let me see. Exactly, yeah, Ray says, hey man, we got to cut Shad some slack. He has like 50 kids at home. Yeah, he may have had 1 or 2 eaten by, oh no, but he still cut some slack. Yeah, absolutely. Shad and his 50 kids. Goodness gracious. I mean, the guy's busy, you know what I mean? Guy's busy. And Nicholas says, good question. How does that work with how you are friends with some of Shad's enemies like Skull? Skullagrim is not an enemy to Shad. They clashed a few times and mostly happened on X. I don't know if they want that to be public, so I'm not going to go into the details, but they did clash a few times. But then they kind of made up. They are not enemies. And am I friends with Skullagrim? I mean, we never met. I'm friendly towards Skullagrim. I don't think he considers me a friend in the sense that we haven't met, right? But I'm friendly towards Skullagrim. We speak. Recently, when he had some problems, I addressed it, and then we talked about it a little bit. I sometimes join his live streams in the sense that I am in the chat. He's always very respectful towards me. So I have zero problems with Skullagrim personally. I disagree with quite a few of his political takes, let me tell you that much, but who cares? I don't think he's a bad person. And yes, he had a clash with Shad, but I think that was resolved. As far as I'm concerned, unless Skullagrim has a different opinion about me, I don't know. But personally, I have a state of mutual respect with Skullagrim. That's the way I see it right now, personally. And at least that's the way I see it. We'll see if he confirms it or not. We disagree on quite a few things, but mutual respect. Totally, yeah, exactly. You can have fights with people and still be cool. Totally, yeah. Totally, yeah. Well, I don't need to change topic because you say it. I can speak about whatever the heck I want, just to say, freedom, guys. I'm the freedom guy, as I say. But no, I'm not going to change the topic mostly because I'm kind of getting towards the end of the stream anyways. Let me see. Just double checking the connection for a second. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I should go get dinner. Yeah, it is dinner time, guys. So anyways, I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you tomorrow, guys, for the next live stream and also for the next. I got a set of really good videos coming up. I don't know if you noticed, but I've stepped up with the original content once again. And I still do the occasional react, but I kind of increased the number of original content. So look forward to that. Hi, you come right moment I was about to stop the stream.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
You can say hi, of course.
Hi, everybody.
We have a little, and thank you, Ray.
Hi and bye.
Hi and bye, I guess.
Hi and bye.
Also, Shad lives in Australia. He has to protect himself and his large family from emu. I don't know what that means.
Emu is a type. It's like not an ostrich, but it looks like an ostrich.
Oh, I see.
It's like another big bird.
Oh, I see. Very cool.
Oh, Spyro, thank you for being a member for 21 months. That's crazy.
Spyro is a very good supporter. Go chat you to agree to human. Oh my gosh, seriously? Man, if the VOD is still up, I'll have to check it out. Where did you do it? Twitch or YouTube? Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, hello, Meta Wife. Here we are.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. And AI is insane.
AI is
Absolutely. Hey, Melanie, I think you changed your name because I remember the picture. But yeah.
crazy. Saint Sir Nicholas, hello.
But yeah, so we were trying to decide what to eat for dinner, and yeah,
Well, I got the poppers.
that's right. I could have some jalapeno poppers. Why not? But yeah, noble ones. I hope you had a good time. Thank you very much for joining the stream.
Bye.
Thank you, Spider. Both Daily Tech News episode 74. I'll absolutely go check it out. Thank you, Spider, for that. And Australia lost a war to emus, and that's the joke.
Oh
Oh,
my God,
that's
that's
great.
Thank you,
All right,
Ray
guys.
Gonzalez.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you so much, guys, for the support. And I will see you for the next stream tomorrow and the next usual upload on all the channels. Have a good night. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao. And